Today I'm making some of my favorite flautas, Flautas Ahogadas. Okay, I'm working with the 6-quart pot and I'm gonna start boiling my chicken. I'm gonna add, so it's like 1.5 liters of water that I'm adding. Here I have a 5-pound chicken and I like to add the water first and then gently lay it into the pot so water doesn't splash everywhere. There we go. I'm just going to fill it up as best as I can over the chicken. I have 1 small onion, a couple of cloves of garlic. I'm working with 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder. That's optional. I like it. And some fresh cilantro, again, optional. Okay, so I want this to come up to a boil. I'm going to offset the lid and just come up to a boil and let it cook. It's probably going to take maybe like an hour, over an hour of boiling to get the chicken where I want it. It's going to create broth and the chicken that I'm going to shred. Okay. Yee. Okay. Okay, so I managed to pull most of the bones out of this chicken. So at this point it's still kind of hot, but see how easily the bone comes off? And I also removed the skin. So at this point, see, another one. So yeah, you'll want to shred this when it cools off or you can handle it and set it aside. I'm probably going to shred the meat. I'll leave whatever natural broth or juice collects at the bottom. And I'm going to season with a little bit of salt, onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, and that's what I'm going to use to fill the flautas. I'm going to fish out and strain it. I'll fish out some of the stuff. I'll strain it and I'm going to use it for the consommé, or like the soupy salsa for this. Okay, so I'm going to add some onion powder to my shredded chicken. And I actually didn't use all the shredded chicken. I think this will be enough. And then this is a garlic, salt, and pepper blend. And then you just give that a mix, and this is the shredded chicken or the filling. Okay, so for the corn tortillas, and I'm actually using sort of a different kind, but store-bought, and you'll want to light fry them. You're not frying them until crispy. You want them to get soft and pliable to be able to roll it without breaking. So just a few seconds on one side, then I'll flip, and then I'm putting them over here on my baking sheet. Yeah, that's good. Then we go over here. There we go. Just repeat the process. But see how they soften up? That's exactly what you're looking for. So you're not frying them crispy. You're frying them or passing them through the oil to get soft. Okay, here I have about 2 tablespoons of water. To that, you can add equal parts. Essentially, you're just going to add a little bit of cold water and mix it with the all-purpose flour to create a paste. It's going to be like a thin glue, and this is what I like to add to keep the flautas together in a roll. And also when it fries, it adds an extra layer of crunchiness. I love crunchy flautas. Okay, so let's set up the station to create these flautas, to assemble them. So you have your shredded filling, whether it's beef or chicken. I'm opting for chicken today. I have my prepped corn tortillas that are passed through the hot cooking oil. They're softened. And I have my little paste that's going to help to seam the roll together. So we're going to take, oh, this is still kind of hot. We're going to take this over here, add your chicken, just a little bit. If I had to say measurement wise, maybe like a tablespoon and a half maybe. And you're going to start with the roll and you pull back on the roll to keep it tight. And then before you finish it out, you take some of this and you place it right at the edge, just kind of smear it. And then you finish the roll. And then you're going to place this seam side down, just like that. And it keeps it in place until you do all of them in a row. And then you can fry them up, but I'm going to roll them all out. I'm going to put the roll over here, or the tortilla. We'll do that. Get some of the chicken. Place it on the, there we go. And it's just, it's not hard once you get the groove of things. You pull back on that roll to keep it tight. And then you get the paste. And then you finish the roll. That's it. Seam side down. And you place it next to the other one to kind of keep it in place. Okay, so I have these rolled. And I think this is about 17, 18. I had like 2 tortillas that kind of broke apart, but this is what I'm working with today. And I did not use the entirety of the chicken. I actually froze the rest of it. So if you add a wooden spoon and kind of a wooden chopstick or spoon and it starts to bubble around the handle, then you know, that's a good indication. You'll want around 350 degrees for fry temp. Let's see. Seam side down to make sure the roll stays. We're going to fry these. I'll probably give them a flip at some point, and you want them to be crispy and golden, like a light golden brown. Uh-oh, there we go. I'm going to place them here on this baking sheet with a rack after I cook them to let any residual oil just kind of drip down to the bottom, and it keeps the crunchy texture as I cook the rest of them. Give that a flip, and you can see once it's fried crispy, it kind of stays in place. I had to try this. Ooh. So I've strained the broth that we boiled the whole chicken in. I have about a quart here, 4 cups, a little over 4 cups. And I'm going to make like this salsa slash consomme. And this is what I'm going to pour over my flautas today. You can eat the flautas plain with the toppings of your choice, but this is what I'm doing today. So I have 5 Roma tomatoes that I've sliced in half, a small piece of onion, 2 cloves of garlic. Here I have cumin seeds that I kind of crushed. And I'm going to puree this, and we're going to simmer and season this in a pot. It's going to be so good. I also have a jalapeno I removed the stems and seeds from. That's going in. Here's the cumin. I'm going to add a little bit of this broth that I strained. Yeah, maybe like a cup. Okay, and I'm opting to add this. This is the tomato flavored chicken bouillon powder, like a tablespoon, going in. Okay. So that goes into the pot. Here I have the rest of that broth. I'm going to pour that in. Now I'm going to just stir, mix, and let this simmer for about 10 minutes. Just let it gently simmer 10-15 minutes. Because remember, we are working with raw tomato, jalapeno, onion, and garlic. I want this to simmer. You'll want to taste for salt and seasoning and adjust to your preference. So the cheese I'm using to put on top of my flautas is Oaxaca cheese. You can use cheddar cheese, you can use Colby Jack, mozzarella. Look, use what you have, but this is what I'm working with today, and I'm gonna finely shred this. So we have 4 flautas, right? And you just pile it on right on top. So now I have my perfectly perfect consommé salsa. It's like a soupy salsa for those of you that are like, what is that? It's so good. And I added salt to taste, so it's perfect. And now you just take a ladleful over the top, just like that. And it melts the cheese. And here you are. And then time to dig in. Just like this. It's so delicious. Here we are. It might not look like much, but it's so good. And it's gonna burn my mouth because this is boiling hot. If you don't like eating noises, like I always say, tune away. And for those of you wondering, yes, I'm bending down so I can get in frame. But here we go. So good. Mmm. Mm-hmm. This is just perfectly seasoned. Here we are. And then you just kind of scoop the salsa. It's so good. Mm-hmm.